They've got one of the best offenses in the country, 85.5 points a game. Really, really good three-point shooters. Great point guard, probably the best true point guard maybe that we've played. Kid Dallas Moore, lefty. Really good, and they put a lot of shooters around him. Kid Mackey shoots 55% almost from three. They've got a kid, Bo Beach, who's a 6'9" kid who shoots it 47% from three. And then they've got kid Bodagger who really shoots it well as well in the mid 40s. So, they spread you, and their big kid Davenport can shoot the three. So they spread you and shoot it really well. They had 19 threes at LSU earlier this year. I think they've got a run of 8 straight games where they've hit 10 or more threes. So we've got to do a very, very good job guarding the three-point line, but we got to guard the ball so we can guard the three-point line. If you don't guard the ball and they break you down and put you in help situations, it's tough to guard the three-point line. They whip it around pretty good.
Coach, you mentioned after the Liberty win about sitting down and guarding and how if they don't improve in that category, North Florida can put up 100 easily. What are you stressing in practice to get them to commit to that ideology that they need to sit down and guard these people to slow down their offense?
Yeah, we worked on defense for an hour yesterday. That's all we did yesterday in practice after we watched film. So, we just got to sit down and keep the ball in front. We just got to force contested jump shots or jump shots where we've got a hand in the face and not give them angles, not let them dice in there and drive in there and that sort of thing. So we just got to keep the ball in front. 1 through 4, they got to be able to sit down and really guard and keep them out of the paint or keep them as close to out of the paint as we can and force them to score over us from 2. Like we just got to, we got to make it a 2-by-2 type game. We can't get seduced into having a 3-point contest with them.
How much stress do you put on playing 40 minutes of basketball, not just 20 minutes? You get the mention again after with the 40-plus points in 4 out of your last 5 in the second half.
Yeah, I've talked about, we've got to play a complete game. You got to play a complete game from here on out. Every team, the other 19 games we got scheduled plus the conference tournament game, it's going to take a complete game to win all of those. It's not, you can't play for 20 minutes, can't play for 30 minutes. So it's time we start finishing and playing complete games.
What kind of momentum do you think you guys are carrying into the start of conference play here on the weekend?
Depends on how Wednesday goes. Wednesday's it's gonna be a tough game. They won at Illinois earlier this year. They played LSU close. They've already been to Dayton. They've been to St. Louis in our league. They've been to Arkansas. They're 10-5. They're a good team. It's gonna be a dogfight tomorrow night. So we've got to play well. Certainly, I think if we play well and guard 3-point line and play a complete game, that'll give us a jolt going into the conference season.
Coach Corey Bilberry stepped up his game lately on the defensive end, but also in transition. What's changed for him to spark him on this little streak he's on?
I think he's just getting more comfortable. Sometimes it takes some time for a fifth-year kid to get comfortable, get a feel for what we're doing, and I think he's certainly done that, and just is in a little bit more of a groove and has a better understanding of his teammates and where to pick his spots and where are spots to attack and where are spots to maybe pull it back and run offense. So he's just got a better feel for what we're doing, what we're about, and that's led to him increasing his production and thus making it better for our team.
You play a team that relies so heavily on one aspect of their offense. Is it difficult to, like you said, you spent an hour on defense? Okay,
Yeah.
There's one thing that they do really well.
Yeah, it's like option football.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like playing option.
Is it hard to get every?
Yeah, we had a team in our league in the Southern Conference. East Tennessee State kind of did the same thing, and they were really reliant on the 3. So you have to flip what you do for the game to really try to shut down the 3. So yeah, it's a little bit of a unique. That's what we had to. We spent an hour yesterday working on a couple of different defensive concepts that we haven't worked on in a long time. So you have to flip what you do a little bit. You got to change what you do a little bit, change where your help comes from, change where your rotations are, so it takes some time to do that. And we spent a lot of time yesterday showing film about it and then walking through it and playing it live, and we'll certainly need to do it more today. But it is a unique preparation just when a team's so reliant on one thing. I guess option football, they're so reliant on running it, that would probably be the best comparison, analogy, if you will. I know you guys like those.
Anybody else? Going into conference, but not looking ahead, but going into conference play, will this game, like you said, you're flipping it a little bit, is there anybody in the A-10 that even comes close to, like, will you be able to carry these defensive lessons into a game in conference anywhere, or just the general principles of
There's certainly
Davidson or something like that?
There's certainly some teams. Fordham, actually, the way Coach Neubauer's playing, he does some similar things. Does it out of some different sets or different alignments, but similar concepts. So yeah, there's certainly some teams that you can apply it against, but more importantly than just apply, it's applying a game plan. So every game plan is going to be different. Now this one's really unique for what we have to do tomorrow, but every game plan is unique in and of itself, whether you're playing, George Mason or St. Joe's. They'll both be unique. So, I'm more interested in our guys being able to flip the mindset, flip what they're doing, apply the game plan today, and then turn around and do something different on Saturday and do something different next week and the next. That's what it's about in conference play. So I do think it's good preparation in that sense.
So tomorrow night's game aside, how would you assess how this team has handled not only having a new coaching staff coming in, but the non-conference schedule that you put together and where it stands right now as compared to where you might have hoped or thought they would be?
Well, I think we're getting better. I think, which is what you want to do throughout the non-conference. I think we've got the right formula. I've told you guys that a couple times. I think our offense has gotten a lot better. I think our spacing's better. I think our reads are better. I think what we're doing is better. I like where we are there. I think we've made progress with the defense, and we just got to keep making more strides. But I certainly think we've been tested, probably more than anybody in our league, and I think we've been tested on the road in some tough environments, and I think that'll help us. And that's what you want to do. And as a team, we've gotten better. Like you asked about earlier, I think Corey Bilberry's gotten into a sense of what he can do. We've gotten a sense of what the kid Ahmed Hamdi can do against really high-level competition. Mo's finishing better and playing better. Mel's playing at a high level. Jaquan's really played well the last 4 games. So I think everybody's moving in the right direction. We just got to keep it going down that path.
Coach, about halfway through the season, you've been here about 8 months or so. There's been a moment, throughout this time of year that you said, really thought that I made the right decision coming here. This is a great situation, or maybe somewhere in the season where you thought that the team's really kind of trending in the right direction?
Well, every day I think I made the right decision. I enjoy it every day. I'm serious about that. But really, after the Cincinnati game, I got a sense that we'll be all right. We're moving in the right direction. That was sounds weird as a loss, but Georgia Tech was about as bad as we've played that last 10 minutes. That was awful. And come back and play Cincinnati, and we had chances to win, and we didn't have Burgess, and Mel had, they bottled up Mel pretty well. But I got a sense then, like, we've got the right formula, we've got the right stuff, we're going to be all right. And I would say that. Now we got to keep moving forward. It's not like we've won 2 games since then, so it's not like we've gone on some long streak. But we need to keep it plugging along. But after Cincinnati, I really felt like we're in pretty good hands, pretty good shape.
So do you get a sense from the guys that they're kind of ready to go for conference play, kind of where the games matter almost, W's?
We're ready to go for North Florida tomorrow. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, this game is going to be,
Sure.
like this game, I mean, I know you guys think it's like they're good. They're good. And any team that can score like that, I mean, they scored 110 points at LSU. Like, I mean, they had 19 threes in a game. Like that, I mean, that stuff's darn near impossible to do. Now, I follow them very closely. Their head coach is one of my best friends, one of the 5 most influential men in my entire life. So I love the guy. And so, you know, I follow them closely, so I know a lot more about them than I do most teams. You know, their scores pop up on my phone. I follow everything about them. But, like, I mean, yeah, we got to be ready to go tomorrow. Like, it's going to be a tough. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be like when we've played Belmont, when we've played Toledo here. I mean, those types. I mean, that's how it's going to be. I mean, they're picked to win the Atlantic Sun. They won the Atlantic Sun last year. Went to the NCAA tournament. They returned everybody. They've got. I mean, Dallas Morby, the best point guard we've played probably thus far. And you spread it around with 2 other 45% plus 3-point shooters. That's a pretty. I mean, it's a pretty good offense. It's a really good offense. The 11th best offense in the country, in fact. So I mean, you know, we've got to be ready for tomorrow, and then we'll turn our attention to George Mason and conference play after tomorrow. But it's going to take a complete game. It's going to take a really good game. It's going to take us being, you know, really locked into what we're doing defensively for us to win tomorrow.
Aside from the action on the court, you mentioned how you've known the head coach in North Florida your entire life. You just mentioned all that. So does this have much more personal weight for you in this game than playing?
Well, it's no fun to play your friends, but I mean, I love the guy. We were texting last night. I mean, he's one of our GAs, played for him. I'd never met the GA before. He just called me and said, this kid's one of the best kids I've ever coached. Will you take him as a GA? I'd never met the kid. I said, sure, have him send his stuff in. And he walked in. He's a great kid. He's awesome because he came from his program. So, I mean, I was Chattanooga last year. I was down in Jacksonville recruiting. I went by his house and spent the afternoon with him. We went to lunch, his wife. I mean, I used to babysit his kids when I was a manager at Clemson, and he was the assistant. I'd babysit his kids. His wife would go. They'd go out on Friday night dates. His kids are now in college. I mean, you know, I've just known him for forever, and he gave me my first opportunity in college basketball. So, you know, he needed a game, and we needed a good RPI game, I thought, as a bye game. So it just worked in terms of scheduling it. But it's, you know, I root for them. I follow them. And so, you know, it'll be tough, but you know, that's part of it in coaching. All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.